Alrighty. Well, hello, folks. Welcome to Tuesday's Eionan's Edge live stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Whew. It's hot out here in the garage, folks. Okay, let's see who we got to send greetings to tonight. Blazeburger's coming back. He might be back already. Bama Ninja. What's up, brother? Mike Jernak. How you doing, boy? Marcos Gamma, brother Marcos. Happy Tuesday, brother Eionan's Edge. Yes, happy Tuesday to you too, sir. Got a good show in store for you guys tonight. A lot to talk about. Who else we got here? Drubby Tunes. Drubby, your package should be coming any day now, buddy. Any day. All right. For those of you who weren't here last week, Drubby was the grand prize winner. Drubby won the Solaris. Josh Branson. What's up, my man? Shout out to Josh. Good evening to you, sir. Lone Wolf's here in the house as well. Excellent. Will B is in the house. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. For those 15 of you folks that are already here in the house right now, hit that like button early. That way you don't have to forget about hitting it later, all right? Whack that like button for me. Let's see. Matt Lundy's in the house too. What's up, guys? You see Mattisfaction is at 1K? Yes. My boy, Mattisfaction, hit 1K. So he will be doing some kind of a celebratory giveaway for that as well. Well deserved. It's criminal that it took Matt this long to get to 1K. It really is. Darnell B, what's going on? Josh Branson says, great to make it 2 weeks in a row. I'm usually at work and miss these, but the weather has blessed me 2 weeks in a row. All right. Well, I'm really happy that you could make it 2 weeks in a row. All right. We're going to have another good live stream this week. We got a lot to talk about. We got a special guest coming on for 5 and 5 who may just decide to stick around later. Let's see who else we got in here right now. Grubby says, oh, I got the package today. Awesome. Thanks a ton. All right. Awesome, man. That's great. I hope you enjoy that Solaris. I really, really do. Let's see here. Who else we got in the house? Freak Show just logged in. Woohoo! What's up, Jeremy? Says, howdy, howdy, mowing, so I'll just be lurking. Okay, no worries, man. Cheers. Grumpy Grunt in the house. What's up, Grumpy Grunt? There he is. There is the Grumpy one himself. Oh, I realized I don't have my light on. Look at that. How about that shit? Where is that thing? There we go. There's the Grumpy one right there. All right. Native Wild Man in the house as well. All right, we got 20 people here. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in, folks. Help my analytics, please. There's Napster Ninja as well. What's up, Napster? Double N. All right, so now that we got some folks in here, I usually like to do some shout outs. So we're going to continue doing greetings, but let's do some shout outs too. Let's shout out to some of you crazy mofos out there. So I've got some shout outs to do here. Since he's already in the house, I'm going to shout out Grumpy Grunt. I was handed off some fixed blades to review from Grumpy, and I'm actually carrying one of them today. I took it off my belt and I got it here on the counter, and I will talk about that as part of my pocket carry. Let's see who else that I haven't. Stacy Bolsterblade's in the house. What's up, Stacy? Happy to see you. Very cool. Very, very cool. So I got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to cover Word of the Week. There'll be a story time. I'm going to talk about the Arizona knife meetup that just happened this weekend. That was epic in a lot of different ways. A bunch of things happened at the knife meetup that were very cool. Let's see. I'm going to be talking about some potential. I'm going to be asking you guys about some potential changes, additions to the live streams. So we'll have a chat. As always, I've got a couple topics I want to bring up, and I'm just trying to give this time to fill up. I got 24 folks in here, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't know who I missed because it says that I have gained some channel subscribers, but I do not see new faces. So if you're here lurking, don't be afraid to just drop a hey, how you doing into the channel. We love hearing from people all the time. There's Drubby. Drubby says, Grumpy, loving the Solaris. Good, man. I'm so happy. That was, it made me happy that it went, you know, obviously to somebody who's regular to my regular subscriber to my channel, but also in my live streams a lot, and also somebody who didn't have a Solaris. Grumpy's a big fan of that knife, as you know. So am I, and that was part of a pay it forward thing. Grumpy did something awesome for me, so I paid it forward by purchasing one of those knives to give away to you guys. Let's see who else. There's a few new people. So here's Ed Harrison's in the house. There's Blaze Burger. Good evening, Ed Harrison. Thank you. Here's Blaze Burger back. What's going on, Chamford Handles? There you go. Always something different. I love it. I love it, Blaze. Josh Branson says, yeah, we don't bite hard anyways. That's true, right? So if you're new and you're just lurking, don't be afraid to jump in and say hello, throw up a greeting. But please hit the like button for me. We've got 20 folks in here, and we've got 19 likes. So we're pretty close. We're pretty close. Blaze says, I was just playing with, using my Solaris. We know what you meant, buddy. We know what you meant. For sure. There he is. There. Where did it just jumped on me? There we go. There's one of my moderator extraordinaires, Mimo Michael Morgan. Good evening, sir. All right, so let me finish with shout out. So again, shout out to Grumpy. I've got some of Grumpy's knives, some more Grumpy's knives right now, and I'm going to review those over the next, say, month, mix those in with some of my knives and get some extra reviews out to you guys. So that's cool. And I'm also going to get to check out a few knives that are super cool that I probably wouldn't have thought to buy. So I'm very appreciative, Grumpy, of that. Thank you, sir, very much. I want to shout out Cue Ball for hosting the Arizona meetup. I will mention that again later. Mattisfaction, once again, gifted me a knife. Plus, we had a great time at the meetup. He's been super helpful with a lot of things behind the scenes. Satu Dave, who loaned me the Grant Custom Gripper to review. And now I have two other knives of his that I'm going to be reviewing. And then we're working out a trade and then some other deals for a couple of knives. So shout out to Dave. I really appreciate him. Dave's been fantastic. He's great for the community in general. But if you've never met Dave, he's the real deal. He's a solid individual. I also want to shout out Evil E, Kyle, and NebuCloud, who were also at the Arizona meetup. They were new on the scene for our meetup, and I think we'll probably get them at future ones as well. I think they had a good time. Again, I will talk more about that. I also want to thank David Blade Banter, who, if some of you may or may not know this, but he works for QSP North America, and he also helps do some of the pass around group stuff. So a shout out to Blade Banter as well. And then finally, I want to shout out Winchester and Juvan. Both of those guys I've had dealings with over the last couple of weeks. They've been excellent. Big shout out to them. Shout out to Uncle Kyle, who does not get to watch these live, but usually goes back and rewatches them. So shout out to you, brother. And then finally, my two moderators, Gonzo Reviews, and of course, Michael Morgan, Mimo. Those guys are the best. I love having them in here. They do a great job for me. So we also got Spokane Vape Man in the house. What's going on? So I guess we got about 25 folks in here. It's normally about half of what I get. So why don't we begin throwing up pocket checks? All right, so tell me what you got in your pockets tonight. But because I like to put a special spin on things for all you crazy fucks out there, I would like to know, what shoes are you wearing? What kind of footwear do you have on your feet? Are you wearing cowboy boots? Are you wearing sneakers? Are you wearing high heels? Whatever. All right. Tell me what you got on your feet tonight. I would like to know what you guys have on your feetsies today. All right. Maybe you got nothing on. Maybe you're walking around barefoot. That's okay too. Right. Maybe you got a holy old pair of socks on that are both worn out in the heels and the toes because you never clip your toenails. That's okay. Just tell me what you got. All right. Let's see. Josh Branson says, well, I want to shout you out, Eionan. Thanks for bringing your own style and flavor to this corner of the knife community. Thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciated. I always try to bring something a little different. We always have a chat / group conversation topic every week. There's always a story time on my lives. So just trying to do something different. Also, while I'm thinking of that, Josh, while I'm thinking that, thank you, sir, for that reminder, because heads up, folks. Heads up. There it is. Okay. Word of the week. Don't tell me you didn't see it. And if you are new to the channel, then what that is, the word of the week is later in the year when we get into Halloween and then especially the Christmas holiday season, and I do giveaways, I am going to have a special giveaway for people who have been keeping track of the words of the week. So you'll have to have a certain number of words of the week to be eligible for that giveaway. And if you have all the words of the week, you will get extra chances to win. So keep track of the word of the week, folks. Keep writing those suckers down, and you will have extra chances to win when we get to the holidays. All right, that's what that's all about. That's what the word of the week is for. Let's see here. Whoa, we already got some people throwing some shit in. Cool. I like it. Let's see. The Bama Ninja says he's wearing Puma slides. Okay. Blaze Burger got my modded. What does it say? Holy towel all day. Bare feet at home always. Okay. Bare feet at home's cool, man. Grumpy Grunt has sandals on his feet today. He's carrying a Tucson TS 264 and a Kaiser original gunmetal in the pockets. The gunmetal, the original is awesome. They just released a batch of those again too, so they are available again. I don't know if they're sold out already, but they did just yesterday, the day before, release a batch of those. Nick Martino says, just put on my new red, white, and Jordan sandals. Freaking loving these things. I have 3 pairs now. It's so damn comfy. Awesome, dude. I didn't even know they made Jordan sandals. Darnell B, 85s, wearing Nike Air Jordans. Nice. Will B, Red Wings work boots. I gotta take a breath for his. Grimsmo Norseman, Kaiser Bag Leader XL, Kaiser Mini Sheepdog, Savivy Chevalier, Streamlight Macro Stream, and an everyman Grafton pen. Woo! Yeah. Love it, sir. Let's see. Stacy says, nothing yet today, not even shoes, but yesterday my Doc Martens Desert Warrior, Angry Watermelon, and a sea snake. I love the sea snake. The sea snake is an awesome little knife. So, and the Desert Warrior. One of the funniest knives there is. I think that knife is pretty cool. Let's see. Napster Ninja has the Spidey Chef, and he's wearing some beater Adidas Campus. Let's see. Nick Martino, mayo. No, mayo is not the word of the week this week. It was a word of the week in the past, though. Hint, hint. Let's see. Michael Morgan says full-size Ritter Hogue and brown casual shoes. All right, brother. Spokane Bateman, Benchmade Claymore Auto, Phoenix PD40 Light. I'm at work, so Skechers Oxford work shoes. All right, very good, sir. Let's see, Drubby Tune, wearing mismatched socks, getting to know my Solaris, 100% happy. I am super stoked for you, man. I am super stoked for you, Drubby. I'm glad that you won. I'm glad that you're liking that knife. It's a super cool knife, so. Ed Harrison says, no shoes, just my Angry Watermelon. All right, I'm assuming you're probably hanging out at home on the couch. All right. One thing that Angry Watermelon / Baby B has going for it is it's addictive to just flick that little itty bitty thing and have that blade snap out there. Right. Let's see. Native Wildman says Wolverine square toe boots, Cold Steel Counterpoint 1, CGRB Talia Green K-Bar Hunter, and a Buck Stockman. He mixing up your carry a little bit. I like it. Let's see here. Josh Branson. Demco 80/20.5, and the only thing I ever wear is my Irish setter work boots. Don't have a chance to wear anything else. That's okay, brother. Let's see. Will B says there are Kaiser Bag Letter XLs at White Mountain Knives. Cool. Thank you for letting us know, man. Nick Martino says, ugh, I got to lug around my Red Wing boots all day long. Can't wait to get them off. It's okay, man. Red Wing boots are good boots. So I was wearing pink, so I wanted to match. All right, Stacy. Michael Morgan threw up the link for that. That's cool. So if you haven't thrown up your pocket check, go ahead and do that. I will tell you what I'm carrying in my pocket now. Also, I will remind everyone in just a little bit, we are going to have a 5 and 5. We have a special guest coming on for that as well. So my pocket check consists of Adidas Cloud Form, Swift Runners, that's what these are called. I don't think they make these anymore, but I have a couple pairs of them, and I really like them. They are super cool shoes. Let's see what else I got going on here. Oh, God. It sucks getting old. All right. Pocket check. I'm actually carrying a lot of stuff today. I'm sort of sliding into Will B territory. That's right. Shout out to Mattisfaction over the 1K wall. Whoa, that thing just jumped big time. What just happened there? Nick says, I love Matty. His last video was absolutely hysterical. It might even be the best funny Mattisfaction video yet. He has some that are just kind of slightly humorous but serious. I think that's probably one of his best videos ever. Yeah, it's very nice. I love Adidas. Let's see who else is in here. Had a little boy ask me about my 80/20.5 today in the line at the gas station. So I went in my work bag and gave him the baby bee with Lancelot sheath. Hate to lose it, but his smile melted. Oh man, that's freaking awesome. That is cool. That is very cool. And see, there's another example of why I have shouted out Josh in the past and why this knife community is so great, right? Because we just want to spread the love, people. Okay, and then my pocket check. So let's get to that. So I am carrying a red, white, and blue Mrs. Edge Dodecki chainmail fidget ball. I am carrying, of course, one of my trusty Victorinox SD Classics. I am carrying the Olight i3T rechargeable. You can see that. There it goes. I'm carrying that. My small carry knife today is one that I just picked up. This is one that I got at the meetup. I picked this up from Cue Ball. I am carrying the Ferrum Forge Stinger in Nitro V and stonewashed titanium. Man, I'll tell you what, this is a cool little knife, man. Really, really cool knife. Has a big choil on it. This choil is good size. Look at that. I mean, there's a little bit of space there in front of my fingers. So I really like this. Super cool. Yep, other people shouting you out, man. Josh Brands, that's cool. That's awesome, right? That's DSKFS right there. You betcha. Michael. Probably just raking sand, yeah, in his what did you call it? You called it the Taliban compound or something like that. Jeff says, no praise needed, but thank you guys. You all know how to humble a fellow. I agree, but it's worth pointing out. That's right. Do something kind for some kid. There you go. Do something kind for some kid. So anyway, yeah, Ferrum Forge Stinger in Stonewash tie. I am carrying a fixed blade today, courtesy of the Grumpy Grunt. This is a pretty cool knife. This is the GM F3, hold it like that, and it's pretty cool. I know that they do make a Kydex sheath for this. I put the scales back on it because it came without them, and it does fit in there okay. I love this. This is really well made. But I think I tend to like to carry in scout position on across my belt. So this sheath is probably not going to be the best for me. But I'm already impressed with this little knife just from the first time I've had it. So this is the Giant Mouse F3. So again, thanks Grumpy for that. And then finally, the Bin Laden compound. There we go. I knew it was something. I couldn't remember exactly what he said in the video, but I almost spit out my drink when he said that. Native Wildman said, I won some things in the fishing and homestead community and gifted them to others in the chat. It was awesome. Awesome. That's that exactly. There you go. That's what we're talking about, right? And then finally, finally, some of you, if you follow me on Instagram, might have seen this knife this morning. I have the Medford on belay, and look at this flag on this thing. It is freaking amazing, huh? Anybody want to guess whose personal knife this is that I have on loan to me? Huh? I bet you can. This thing's pretty awesome. It is a big knife. It is a big knife, and it is chunky and solid. But surprisingly, it is not hard to finger flick this knife. I can spidey flick this, so that tells you a little bit about the build quality on this sucker. Let's see. Nick Martino says, I started carrying my small 86 fixed blades front or back pocket carry with a small utility clip. So useful. Cool. All right. Michael Morgan says, that is badass. This thing is freaking crazy. Really, seriously, this knife, you know, I put it in my pocket a little bit yesterday, and I've had it on me today. Like I said, the finish on it is amazing. The flag is just, it's just out of sight. It's a really cool knife. It really is. To be honest, it's a little out of my price range. That's not as big an issue as the fact that this knife is a little too big for me personally. I could find a use for it, but it doesn't quite fit into my wheelhouse knife size. And I get why people like Dave or Cue Ball or Grumpy or Matt or somebody like that would probably love the shit out of this knife because they got bigger hands than me, right? They got extra large size hands with big fingers. So I get why you would probably love this knife to death. But again, it's freaking gorgeous. And it's an amazing knife. It really is. So thank you again. If you haven't guessed already, this is Satu Dave's personal on belay that is on short-term loan to me. Dave lives right here in town, so I will get this knife back to him in a couple weeks after I have a chance to carry it a little more and review it. So that, I almost forgot, folks. Let's see. I got another comment. I've learned that if I'm having a bad day or I'm in a shit mood, I'll leave the house and go pay for someone's gas or food or something. Had a huge impact on my consciousness. That's very cool, man. And that's right. Giving is a good way to, Gonzo in the house. Giving is a good way to, kind of raise your spirits, right? Because that's what makes the world go round. There's Gonzo right there. Woo, woo, woo. There's my other brother from another mother and my second moderator tonight. There is Mateo. Hey, Eionan. Hi, everyone. Cleaning the yard, so can't chat. That's okay. If you're stopping in, though, please hit the like button for me. We're up to 30 people, but only 22 likes. So please hit that like button, folks. Just pop out of there for a second and do that. And then the final thing I have in my pockets today is I have a Mrs. Edge created microfiber. Hank, this is a smaller one, and I actually carry these in my pocket when I'm carrying bigger bladed knives or blades that have big satin bladed knives, which I fucking hate. If you're gonna make a big bladed knife, at least make it stone washed or bead blasted so it doesn't get all smudged to hell. But anyway, I carry one of these to wipe off my knives. I gave the original one I gave to Mattisfaction at the meetup this weekend because I was showing it off and Matt kind of was eyeballing it and I said, you want that? And he's like, I'd like to have one of those. So I gave him mine. And my wonderful wife made me a second one. So that is my pocket carry for today. One more time, folks, pay attention. Look on the screen. Look on the screen now. There you go. Boom. Okay. Detent. Detent is the word of the week. All right. Smack that like button 3 times for good measure. Actually, if you hit it second time, it'll shut itself off. So don't make sure if you hit it that it's on. Yeah, Grumpy says, fuck satin ground blades. It's true. Here's the thing, guys. I don't mind satin on smaller blades, thinner blades, than longer blades, blades that you don't end up like getting your fingers all over. But if it's a thick bellied or a large blade, a really large area blade, put some stone wash or bead wash on it or, black wash it or whatever. But satin blades, they get fingerprinted up so bad. Let's see. Don Wendling, welcome in, sir. He says, cool knife. I got a Spartan Harsey with milled blacked out Flag in black with bronze hardware. Oh, it's got the flag on it. Right. That's the Spartan Harsey is actually Spartan Harsey Saint is actually on my slightly higher end knives that I would like to purchase at some point in the future. Yeah, 3 times is a thumbs up. Makes sense. Just one is fine. But yes, if you accidentally hit it the second time, hit it the third time so it stays as a like. Thank you. Let me know. Let me see. Let's see. And they're very hard to take pictures of. Let me know, Gonzo. I may be itching for one as we speak. Yeah. Also, a shout out to Gonzo too. My man Gonzo has done some cool stuff for me behind the scenes. So there's a lot of people here in the knife. We were talking about this at the meetup real quick before I digress too much. We were talking about how many things actually go on behind the scenes here in the knife community. How many people actually talk back and forth to each other? How many channels? How many content creators? How many folks within the community? You know, it's amazing, honestly. Grumpy says no. Every single knife needs to be stone washed. Full stop. I don't totally disagree with that. I don't, like I said, I don't mind satin blades if they're on a smaller bladed knife, but I fucking hate them on anything medium to large size. I hate satin blades. I know they look good, but I don't like them. What's going on, everyone? Brandon Thrasher in the house too. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, folks. We got, what do we got? We got 29 people. All right, we're doing okay. We got 28 likes. Good. So this is the point where I've finished greetings. I have finished pocket checks. I've shown you what I have in my pocket, including this beautiful badass boy here. I will show that one more time. And the couple of main knives I carried. The case came in a little late. The Ferrum Forge Stinger in Nitro V and gray stonewashed titanium, and a knife I have on loan from the grumpy one himself, the Giant Mouse F3. And I think I probably will take these scales back off while I use it with this pouch because it fits in there a little better. They weren't on there when I got it. It does feel good without them, but like I said, I would probably carry it in Kydex in the scout position because that's where I like to carry these small to medium fixies. But this is a super cool knife too. Again, Giant Mouse, beautiful knife. Thank you, Grumpy, for the loaner. Okay, so let's see. Who else have we got in here? Hello. Greg Vanderlip, what's going on, my friend? Welcome to the live. Jim Norton acknowledged me in chat yesterday and today. Branson here too, Hinder Collector. What's going on? Gonzo said that's a wicked blade. Reminds me of a Spartan blade. Yep. All right, it's big. It's a big knife. It is thick. I'm going to throw up a link because I have a special guest coming in to do the 5 and 5. So let me do that real quick. Yeah. Let me do that. And we will get them in there. So I'm about to throw up a link. Okay, there is a StreamYard link. So if you're my 5 and 5 guest for tonight, you'll see there's a StreamYard link there in the chat. Please go ahead and click that link. It will bring you into the backstage area of StreamYard Studio. I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy this. Native Wildman says, if I like the look of a knife, I'll think about getting it. I don't care what the blade finish is. You know, that kind of ties into something we talked about recently. We had a conversation about the history of blade steels and how, like, around 20 years ago, roughly, a little past 20 years ago, there weren't that many blade choices, right? You had 440, you had 154 CM, you had some of the tool steels, obviously at D2, things like that. And people thought the knives they were buying back then that they were paying a lot of money for were really good, right? So yeah, I'm not a steel snob either. If I like a knife, if I like the way it looks, I like the ergos, I like the way it feels, I'm willing to certainly pick that up, right? And he said 5 and 5 was fun. So I did put that link up in the chat. Hopefully it gets picked up on. There it is right there. Let's see here. Brent, what's up, my man? Yo. Grumpy Grunt said, blade finish won't stop me from getting a knife, but given a preference, like on most giant mouse models, I will take stonewash over satin every time. Yeah, and the funny thing with like giant mouse, they do like a stonewash satin. It's like a satin blade that then they like stonewash over, so it's not like a full satin. I've noticed that even what Giant Mouse calls a satin blade has some sort of some ceramic wash to it, like a light ceramic wash, so it doesn't get really fingerprinted up. But like I said, just regular satin blades, just man, they just look terrible. And I don't want to have to wipe my blade off all the time. So if I'm using it and it's got stuff on it, that's different. But I hate when they get all smudged up looking. Okay, I guess I will have to shout him out here. I'm going to post that link up one more time. Bama Ninja, wherever the heck you are in chat, sir, I am throwing up the link one more time. Dwayne Letterman, what's up, Eionan? And hey, everybody. Hi, Dwayne. Don't forget to throw up your pocket check so people can see what you're carrying. And also tonight we asked you to tell us what's on your feet. What are you wearing? Are you barefoot? Are you in socks with holes in them and your toes sticking out? Do you have some kind of footwear on? Tell us what you got on your feet tonight along with your pocket check. Let's see, one of the things I like about John, yes, they all, the one color handle in satin and another in stonewash, one of the things I like about them. Bladesburger says, I bought a cheap, oh, there he is. Okay, there he is. I see him. I bought a cheap Harbor Freight tumbler to stonewash my own blade at home. Also pocket clips, hate shiny clips. Yep. Actually, I was talking with Satu Dave about this as well, and he was telling me that he has stonewashed a few blades himself using a big like sports bottle, the ones he used for shaking up like protein powders, and he'll just take the little tumbly thing out of there and he'll fill it with the media and squirt some WD-40 in there just to kind of keep it all loosened up, and he'll just sit there while he's doing something that doesn't require any real effort and just kind of hand tumble it himself. And then he said you can just keep doing that until you get the desired results you want. So lots of different ways to do that, but I like it. So let's see here. Are you ready to go, sir? I just need a thumbs up there, buddy. All right, we got a thumbs up. So here we go. We're bringing in our special guest for the day. And shabam. There's Bama Ninja. Woohoo!
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me good? Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you okay. Yep. Sounds good.
It's the first time I've ever done this, so I'll make sure everything's set up.
So everybody, please welcome Bama Ninja to the stream. He's going to do tonight's 5 and 5, and maybe even stick around for chat afterwards if he feels like it, if he feels up to that. So how we do this, folks, for some of you who haven't been in the stream before, there's a couple of people that maybe haven't seen this all the time. What I do is I bring a guest on, and it can be any of you guys. So if somebody is out there in the stream right now and wants to come on and do the 5 and 5, they can certainly do that. And the deal is basically you bring 5 knives on, you tell us what those 5 knives are, whether they're just 5 cool knives you like, 5 recent knives, 5 family heirlooms or whatever. And I give you 5 or 10 minutes to basically show those knives off and tell me what you think of them, right? And that lets all of you folks see what some of these people throw up in chats and have been collecting. So Bama Ninja taking the plunge, showing his face for the first time on a live stream. I'm very honored, sir. Thank you. And he's going to start the 5 and 5 off and tell us what he's got. So take your time. Don't rush. I'm going to bigify you so everybody can see your knives, okay?
All right.
All right. You have the screens.
Right. Hello, everybody. I know y'all probably see me in the comments and stuff, and I'm a little nervous, so you just have to overlook me. And if I sound a little redneck, it's because I'm from Alabama.
Speak up just a tiny bit, all right?
Okay. Is that better?
Yep.
Is that better?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I kind of mumble. My wife gets on to me all the time for mumbling. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right. My first knife is just one. This list has changed a whole bunch since you told me about this. I started out a whole different 5 than I started out with. I'm doing a whole different 5 than I started out with. But I just decided to do the 5 knives that I carry the most lately. And one of them is this artisan Orion that I love.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite go-to knives. It's thin. I don't know if you can see it well enough, if I'm holding that right or not, but it's so thin and very lightweight. And I got it's the budget version, which I like because I'm not a big frame lock guy. I know a lot of people are. I'm just not. It gets in my way, and I like the uniformity of, both the scales matching. And it's just like one of my favorites. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I have the White Mountain Knives exclusive version of that knife, and then which I reviewed, and then the next week I reviewed the titanium version of it, which was on loan to me from Gonzo, and I found that I actually like the liner lock version better because I had a few issues with continually putting my finger on the frame lock.
I do too. This is one of the first. This is one of the first knives I could reverse flick or spidey flick without having to sling it too hard. And frame locks, I can't do that. Certain ones, I can't do that. My finger gets in the way, and that's why. And one other little thing is, this is a little leftyism here. I'm not like Lefty, but I like the fidgets, and I happen to find a fidget that matches the carbon fiber on my knife. Now that's just, go ahead.
No, that's cool, man. Hold the fidget up a little closer to the screen.
Okay. It's more of a, I don't know, it's shredded carbon fiber.
Yeah.
But it's real lightweight, and oh man, I love it. I love it. Of course, watching me now, I can't do it, but and I carry this a lot. This is a little duo I carry a whole lot, and I like it. Something different.
Nice.
It ain't Moku tie or whatever, but it's great. All right, my next knife, I just got this in about a week ago, and I fell in love with it. It's the CJRB, Ruffian. And I can little finger flick it. And I love this knife.
Yeah, that's a cool knife too. I like that.
That is an awesome knife. I mean, the blade shape puts me in mind of the gripper. It's nothing compared to that. And what's cool, this is a S35. I couldn't believe that. It's a budget. I didn't give that much for it. Surprised me. I didn't even really look at the steel when I bought it. I just liked the looks of it and ordered it, and I got it in and got to look in this S35. Yeah, S35. And which is, so thin and light. Just a perfect little, awesome little carry. I like the clip too. It's not a evasive clip or, get your way. Got good ergos to be a smaller knife. And I got ham hands.
Yep.
I got pretty good sized hands. So, sometimes if I'm really getting into it, I have to put my pinky down there, but generally I can get in it like that,
Right.
But yeah, that's become
kind of for you then that would be kind of a secondary knife, but that Warncliffe blade is great for all kinds of utility cutting.
Exactly. This is in my left pocket. I'm right-handed. My primary knife goes in my right, and of course, left hand. But I love that knife. Smooth, butter smooth. I love it. And here's another one. I've had it for a while, and everybody's going to know it and everything, but I can't help it. It's it gets in my pocket more than most of my knives. That's the Spyderco Mannix.
Yep.
And
so
I love it.
Everybody here is probably familiar with the Mannix. It's a very popular knife for a lot of people.
Very good. This S30BN. It's, it ain't no L-Max or nothing, but I love it. I like everything about it, man. I got me another clip, secondary clip. I don't know exactly who. I just remember ordering it off Amazon, but it works perfect, And this is a good little, just an awesome little knife. I've done all kinds of things with this knife. Love it. And my fourth knife, of course, is this Hogue. And I've had it for a couple of weeks now. And I know
K320.
Yes. And I love Canto.
Yep. I've got a K320 as well.
Well, I noticed you got I think yours is on the thumbnail of your live.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. But I really, man, I have really enjoyed this. I hadn't used it a whole lot, because I'm funny. I know everybody's like, use your knives, but I carry 5 knives at a time.
Yep.
And I've got a knife that I use for scraping stickers and all that. And, if I got to chop down a tree, I use my best knife for that. Right. And I'm big on the Tanto because now I can sharpen. I've been able to sharpen knives for years. I worked at a packing house for years and make packing place. In the first 2 weeks, all you do is sharpen knives. They learn you how to sharpen knives. I worked in the boning room, and I learned how to sharpen knives, but I've learned that a good strop's about all you need, especially on a tanto.
Yeah.
A block strop, I call it, the ones on the wood.
Yep.
Works perfect for that. But yeah, that's
the thing. A lot of people don't realize is unless you really mess up a blade bad, you usually don't need to reprofile it every time you sharpen it. You just need to pick up the edge,
Exactly. That's been. Oh, I want to ask one thing. I haven't got started. I got this little light here. Is this better when I brighten this up? Well, let me see if I can brighten it up here. Does that help any? So as far as the knives, I don't know if nobody wants to see me.
Yeah, a little bit. It helps a little bit with the knife. Yeah. Okay.
I ain't worried about me. I'll break the camera if it gets too much light on me. But yeah. But anyway, that's the help right there.
The thing I love about that knife, the thing I love about the K320 that's deceiving, and a lot of people that own them agree with me. But if you don't own one, it's one of the most ergo-friendly knives there is. You can hold it in a full hammer fist position, or you can choke up on the front choil on it. You can get your thumb way up over the front of the blade. It's super, super comfortable to hold either position.
And don't even have to do it. You got plenty of purchase right there,
Plenty of blade,
Plenty of everything.
Plenty of scales, I agree.
I love that knife. All right, now this is the hard part for me. The filter knife, I guess you could say. There's so many. I don't know. I've got several here. I've got a goblin, all this, but I've had this knife probably longer than I've had the rest of these knives, and it's a scabbard knife. And I heard you talk about scabbard, so that was my sign. This is the Buck. I forget it's a number. I don't think it's a name. I forget, but very, very good Macard. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of, let's see. This Macard on here is just awesome. Awesome. Very good ergos.
That's okay.
Let me cut this light back down, see if that helps, because it's nice. There we go. Does that help any?
A little, but I think it's just your stream. Your stream's a little, your stream's a little pixely, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm off in the woods, and all I got's a phone anyway. But this knife here, this thick stock, good knife, just a good. I found this knife by Googling what would Special Forces carry? What American-made knife would Special Forces carry? And this is one of the knives that popped up.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying they carry this knife, but that was one of the knives that popped up. And I couldn't order it, so I had to go to my local knife store and get them to order it for me. Right. And it come in the tanto blade, but I didn't like it. It didn't look right. It was too narrow. And this, I don't know what you call this, spear point, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's
something like that.
Modified spear point. Yep. Spear point, modified spear point. Yep.
Modified spear point.
So what does something like that cost? What does that typically
This was $89.
Oh, that's not bad at all for that size.
No, I couldn't believe it.
It came with a sheath. I'm assuming it came with a sheath too.
Oh, right? Yeah. Check it out. I use it for a neck knife a lot. Can you see this?
You use it for a neck knife.
I do. I'm a big guy, so see, I carry it a lot like this.
Yeah, I got you.
It's under my shirt, of course, but in case more ninjas attack me, I got it. But I've got another case that came with it. It came in some killer box and stuff, magnetic box and everything. But it's so neat. Like if you're into that Molly backpacking stuff, it came with a whole setup here. Let me get this junk out of the way. Sorry about that. But see, this fits on these straps on here.
Oh, so you can Molly it. You can put on your Molly gear. Yep.
Right.
Okay. And it's perfect. That's super cool. And that's only what, under $90? Under
$90. And that was from a store.
Hey, Blazeburger thinks it's funny too that you use that as a neck knife.
It's true. My wife says, "Oh, make sure you put that in your shirt before we go in the store here." Like, okay, whatever. Even though I got a pistol.
He said he would have neck pain if he carried that on his neck.
That's probably why I got bad posture. But that's my 5 knives. I really fell in love with this Buck. I really have. There's all kind. I wish like I said, I went through so many trying to figure out which ones and make sure I got the steels right, the names right, and everything like that. you know, I'm nervous anyway. I've never even done a video of I mean, maybe back, you know, in high school we did like VHS when that was still popular, you know, or something. But
well, hey,
this is the first time.
man, and you did great, and you brought on 5 cool knives, which I really like. And also, Bluminati Ninja says, another ninja, he said, I never attack you, Bama.
Good. Well, you know, us ninjas
together, right?
We got to stick together, you know. See, look here,
together, right?
Ninja.
There you go.
I got one thing to say.
What else you got? Oh, you got it. Oh, see, there you go. You can't be a ninja without a throwing star, baby.
That's it. That's
Got
it.
One of them.
Got to have it.
Sure.
But I've got over 100 knives, man, and whew, that was a job in itself trying to nail them down.
I got a little over 100, I think.
And a lot of it's budget, but you know, I mean, I've stepped up and got some decent ones. You know, look, man, I've just started in this modern knife collecting, if you will, back in November of last year.
Okay.
My mother had passed away, and I was in a deep state of depression, and I was just feeling the funk. You know, I just wasn't feeling right, and I started out looking at knives online to buy, and I run across a couple of these channels just by happenstance. I think my first one was actually I can't remember exactly. I think it was one of the Knife Center guys. Yeah. David C. Anderson. And I started watching that, and one of them said something about I was going to chase some scales around on my bug out, and they said, look up Nick Shabazz. Yep. Well, instead of just looking up Nick Shabazz, I looked up how to change the scales out on a bug out. Well, that popped up about 5 different channels. Right. And I just started watching all of them. I watched every one of them to see how they would do it. And then came Niggy's Knives, then of course Bees, and you know all these other channels, you know, and just word of mouth and everything. And it helped me. I would be afraid to say it might have saved my life even. I know that's a little extreme, but you know I was such in a funk. I was so hard. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but the love of knives and this community, how accepting and cool everybody's been, and I love being in the chats. I say goofy things sometimes, you know, and as you know, comments don't have the same gravity or gravitas, whatever, as when you're talking. So sometimes, you know, explanation point just ain't enough to, you know, get my feelings out. But I do appreciate this whole community, man. Y'all been great. You're one of my favorite channels.
Well, thank you, man.
As you can tell, everything, I bet I've left a comment or 2 on everything you put out. You know. All the time.
Hey, did you see Byron Kennedy's comment on the screen here? Did you see Byron's comment?
I have to put my glasses on. Let's see. Okay, nobody laughed now. Okay, I'm calling Buck and ordering the Bama Ninja now. Yeah, maybe they'll support. Maybe they'll send me a couple new ones.
And here's Stacy too. She says, "Great collection of your 5, Bama."
Well, thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Yeah. She's been right there. She's one of the first ones I remember seeing. I didn't understand what a moderator was, and I remember they was always talking about her being a moderator, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Her name's in blue." But you know, and she always had cool stuff to say and stuff. And that reminds me, I've got a bunch of knives here, but I'm a gifter. I really. You know, I like to.
You know, that happens a lot in the community too. You know, people loan people knives. I've got some knives on loan, and people give people knives from time to time, and that's always a nice thing because we sometimes don't always remember that not everybody can afford nice knives.
Right. I'm blessed.
So, I'm going to move on. To the next thing. You want to stick around and be just stay in here as a co-host for a little bit?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to go back to Split. All right. Okay, so. You guys know I always like to bring up a topic, and Bama Ninja actually hit on a couple things that are related to my chat topic. So I want to talk real quickly about the Arizona Knife Meetup. So for those people who weren't in here earlier, we had Q Ball, who hosted at his house in Phoenix. We had myself and Satu Dave, who came up from Tucson, and we had the Squirrel King himself, Mattisfaction, who lives up in Phoenix. And then we had 2 other, by the way, congrats to Mattisfaction for hitting 1K in subscribers. Long overdue.
Yes. Long overdue.
Criminally underrated for his channel and his content always. But anyway, congrats to Matt. And then also we had Evil E, a gentleman named Kyle, and we had NebuCloud. So that group has begun to grow. I think that the three new guys were a little overwhelmed with the amount of knives that we had, because I think we had well over 300 knives there. And I didn't even show pictures of everything. So it was pretty crazy. I mean, for us guys who had done it previously, we kind of knew that there would be a lot of knives there. The first time I made the mistake of only bringing a small handful of knives, I think I brought 6 or 8. And this time I got over 100, I brought 30. So I had 30 knives myself. Cue Ball probably had 200. Matt probably bought, I don't know, 80 or 90 knives himself. So we definitely had over 300 knives, plus the knives that the other new guys brought with them. So we had over 300 knives, and it was an amazing time. As Stacy says, I think we found this community, and it saved many of our lives, including myself. And I would agree with that sentiment. This community has just in the time I've been a content creator, and that's only been less than a year. This community has done amazing things for me. So many things have happened. So many people behind the scenes have, helped me out and helped me get going. And I feel very, very humbled and blessed to be where I am now. So, and I love bringing people on. And Ninja, I love having you on. I mean, that's why I tell people, come on, do the 5 and 5. I'll tell you guys a quick story about that. Jamie, who's in the channel, Blades and EDC, he's here in the chat, and he was really nervous about coming on, even though he has a content creation channel of his own that's bigger than mine. He's like, I'm kind of nervous about being on camera in front of people. But he came on, and he was a natural at it. Like, he kicked ass. And then the following week, he did his live giveaway on his channel. So, like, I'm really grateful that he came on. I've always liked his content. I've always liked Jamie. I've appreciated the stuff that he puts out. And it was super, super cool having him come on this channel, this live stream for the first time on a live, and then moving into doing his own stuff. So I was so stoked for him that he had a fun time and did a good job. It was really, really cool. So anyway, I want to get to the chat topic real quick. So there's something I have to do tonight. It's my grandson's birthday. He lives in California. We live here in Arizona. We are doing a Zoom meeting with him at 5. So I got to try to wrap tonight's live stream up by 5, folks. And I got a bunch of stuff to talk about still. So my chat topic for tonight was this. I wanted to know from you folks in chat, how many categories of knives do you collect? And here's what I mean by that. Do you collect microfolders, fifth pockets, small, medium, and large EDCs, bruisers? Do you collect machetes, large fixed blades, swords? What does your collection consist of? For me, I don't have swords. I have utility utility axes, but not really collectible axes. I don't have any bruisers in my collection, so it's pretty much large, medium, small pocket knives, fifth pocket carry knives, a few micro knives, and a handful of fixed blades. I think I got about 6 fixed blades at this moment. The biggest knife I have that would be a bruiser would be, I've got a big Bowie that was custom made by that knife smith friend of mine, Richard S. Wright, who I hope maybe before the end of the year I might be able to convince to come on the screen. So I'm just curious what you guys collect. If you want to throw it up in chat, we'll talk a little bit about that. And brother Javon is in the house as well.
Javon.
I just shouted you out at the beginning of the broadcast, my friend. So quick shout out to Javon.
I gotta say, can I say one thing, sir? Yeah. I hate to interrupt. Javon sent me a care package just out of the goodness of his heart. I gave him one of those little hectic coins, and man, he sent me some goat scales. I just got them in yesterday. Frag pattern goat scales from 20.5, and a brand new CJRB. I think it's called the Crag. It's got that unique little lock on the back there. That I wanted to order one, but I just didn't know about the knife. And since I got it, I love it. But I just want to say that because Javon, he didn't have to do that, man. Good man. Good man.
Yeah, John's a fantastic guy, man. I've talked to him on the phone. We've chatted a bunch back and forth. I just bought a knife from him recently too. So, you know, he's one of those people, man. We're so fortunate to have him in the community. He does a lot of
Yes, we are.
and he's just a nice guy all around. So, you know, again, shout out.
Superhuman being.
And he got his crazy nickname from Tri-State.
Yeah, I've met him. I got lucky, and there was, I think it was 4 of us from the close to the local area. We all went to a little knife store down in Athens, close to where we live. And I got to meet him, Dark Gravity, Grateful Panic, John from Grateful Panic, and I'm embarrassed. I can't forget it. I forgot his name. Shane Gables.
Oh yeah, Shane's.
Yeah, I got to meet all 4 of them.
Shane has one of the best deliveries on his videos ever. I love him, man. I watch all of his shit. So
me too. Me
no
too.
Doubt. Grateful Panic's another good guy. So yeah, I mean, this knife community is everybody's pretty solid. But yeah, John personally has been a really good guy to me so far. I'm glad that we became friends and started to get to know each other a little bit. So.
Well, that's what it's all about, right? You know.
What's that?
That's what it's all about. You know.
Yeah.
Even my dog carries a knife, by the way. You see my dog?
Yeah.
See, he's got a concept goblin. Keep it.
What is that? That's so that if you ever forget a knife, you can just call your dog.
Exactly. When I'm walking my dog and I need a knife, I just get out of it. He loves that goblin.
So Stacy says she has Viking axes, hatchets, machetes, fixed blades, from a few inches to almost 2 feet, from micro to huge cleaver clippers and fighting staffs too. Perfect. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I know some of y'all don't just collect everyday carry knives. You have other shit too. Native right. Said, I have a cold steel Norman sword, and I like the variety of blades. I try to get as many steels as I can afford. There you go. Yeah. Right? So that's well, Gary says, does Dark Gravity have a taco in real life? I don't know. If he has a taco,
I'll let him answer that.
Something's wrong if he has a taco that looks like that. Glazeberger said, this is a big question. He said, I collect designers, users, fidget flippers, steels, lock types, pretty much a little bit of everything. I try to be selective, but it's got to be something that speaks to me. And I agree.
Right.
So here's the thing.
Totally.
I'm not afraid to try a knife that's kind of right on the cusp of what I like, if it's something cool. Like, I bought an 80-20.5 because I wanted to check out the locking system. And it turns out I really like that knife. Yes, it's quirky and has some weird things to it, but I really dig that knife, right? So I took a chance on that. But if a knife totally doesn't speak to me, if I look at it and go, nope, it's a nope. Pretty much, that's it, right? So I think it really depends. So G-Ball says, I'll buy anything I like, which is a problem, a big one. That's true.
I'm the same way.
To be at the knife meetup. Speaking of which, I went to the knife meetup, and Q-Ball is getting ready to put a bunch of his collection that he wants to, whittle down and kind of thin out. He's getting ready to put a whole bunch of those knives up for sale pretty soon to people, but he had all those knives laid out there on his pool table for us. So I picked up the Ferrum Stinger in Thai. That's one of the knives I got from him. I picked up the QSP Thai Penguin. I'll show you these real quick, right?
Ooh,
QSP
beautiful.
Thai Penguin and M390. So full Thai and M390 on bearings. I picked up a knife that I was about to buy pretty soon anyway. I picked up the Swags Kaiser sway back button lock.
I have one of those.
And then I'll tell you a quick funny story about this. I also picked up a Tucson TS111, right? So this is a titanium frame lock on one side and a carbon fiber handle on the other. Nice, almost like a sway back, right? It's similar.
I love that blade.
Right? But what happened was I didn't realize this knife was on the table for sale. So I picked up one just like this. I think it's a TS103, and it was a drop point. And so I went over and he put it in his little computer and everything. And then he's like, okay, we're good. And then I walked back to the table and I started looking through the rest of the knives and I found this one. I'm like, hold the phone, time out, stop. And I went over and I went to show him the knife, right? I went to show him the knife I hit the edge of his computer with it, and the knife popped open and hit him in the hand, and we all thought I sliced him. We thought I sliced him open, and I was like, "Holy shit! I just sliced open cue ball." And he's like, "No, I think hit my fingernail. I'm okay." But I'm so excited. I'm like, "No, I want this Warncliffe instead." But yeah. Anyway, I thought I cut him. I was freaking out. So yeah. So let's see. Oh, your wife is on under your profile. She says, "Good job, babe. This is Bama Ninja's wife." Well, shout out to you, Mrs. Ninja.
She's cool. She likes watching knife stuff.
And then also,
she's got them like knives.
Erin is saying that the TS-111 is an awesome knife, way underrated. SB90 with that carbon fiber. Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing knife. I really, really freaking dig this knife so much. This is a night morning designed Tucson, and this thing is crazy, crazy good knife, man.
I've started to order. I've came that close to ordering several Tucsons, and every time I read where it says could take 2 to 4 weeks to delivery, I always just I ain't got the patience for that, you know.
Yep.
I want that.
Wild stuff.
Yeah.
No doubt. So anyway, so that's cool. I just wanted to see what other folks out here in the community collected. Like I said, for me, I don't collect swords, but you know, I pretty much like anything fixed blade or folding. But mainly I like things that I can actually carry, right? That I can actually use. I can either take on a camping or hunting trip, use out in the woods,
right,
or carry on a day-to-day basis, hiking, fishing, whatever. So that was a big part of it right there.
Now
you know, oh, go ahead.
Being a ninja myself, Cisco, hush. Sorry about that. Being a ninja, I have to have a ninja sword.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, my dog's okay.
You gotta have a sword.
Yeah, in fact, it's right here. I'll be right back. Calm him down, baby. It's gonna be hard to see, but I always, if you can see,
okay.
And it's the eyes. I actually have it razor sharp at the moment, so you know, just in case another ninja clan wants to hire me or something, you know, I gotta be ready. But so I love my swords. I mean, I started out.
Go ahead.
Do what? I lost.
Oh, you said I started out.
I said I started out with swords. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I started out with like a Barlow my dad gave me when I was 6 or 7 years old, but I went from there to like Conan was a big deal back then. And I just had to have me a Conan sword. So I ended up getting a Napier, which is nothing like Conan, but to me it looked a basket Napier, you know, I can't explain it if you don't, but and I had that for years, and then I finally lucked up and got me a ninja sword when I was about 19 years old, and I've had it since I was 19, and I'm 52 now, so it's old, but it's, you know, it is what it is. It's fun.
Cool.
And like I say, I used to drop a piece of paper on it, it would cut it.
Oh, and just cut it?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm bad about interrupting.
Yeah. No, that's okay. It's also, there's a little bit of a lag, obviously, with the internet. So hey, this is a part of the live stream where I have to get serious for a minute. Okay. And I'm glad I got 30 something of you folks in here tonight. So we're going to have a serious talk about something that I don't really want. I wish I never had to have this conversation. Okay. So
I think you're.
What?
Yeah. Well, you blinked off there for a minute. I can only see myself. I don't know if it's my end or your end.
Well, hopefully it looked okay on my end. So here's the thing, folks. Everybody that's out there, all 30 something of you folks, plus my guests, anybody else who's listening or lurking. I love this community. I love having my channel. I love doing my lives. Like I've told you guys before, lives are something I never envisioned I would be doing when I started my channel last year. Never imagined I would be doing live streaming, but I have enjoyed it immensely. And I love coming on here and having all you folks come in and share an hour and a half or 2 hours with me every week. With that being said, my live streams may not be, I hope that they're going to continue to be every week on Tuesday, but they may not be. Now, here's the hard part for me to talk about. So there's a few people that come in my lives and that I'm friends with in the knife community, a very small group of people that I talk to daily. And these people already know this. But the reason I may not have lives every week, and I might still, it might work out okay, but the reason I may not be able to do lives every week is just recently, just a couple weeks back, I found out that Mrs. Edge has cancer. And it's
I'm sorry.
It's pretty aggressive cancer, okay, guys? So we're going through a lot of testing. We've been seeing doctors all the time. This whole week, the rest of this whole week is going to all be about tests. So, you know, I can stockpile review videos, but if I got to take her to the surgeon, or I got to take her to a post-op, or I got to take her to outpatient therapy, and it just happens to be on a Tuesday, there won't be any lives that week. What I would ask from you guys, from being the community that you are, and a lot of you know how amazing my wife is. You follow her Instagram channel, you've seen the crazy stuff that she makes. Please send out your thoughts, your prayers. Keep us in the back of your mind all the time. It should be a winnable fight, but it's not going to be an easy one. Okay?
Right.
So I was kind of waiting for the right time to say this. And now that we're getting into the actual, you know, process, it's not something that I obviously my wife and my family come first. So I'm not going to do a live stream and leave my wife at the hospital.
Oh, no.
I'm sure all of you guys understand.
Well, our prayers definitely be with you, brother.
But I want everybody to know that that's what's going on. So if I say, hey, there's no live stream this week, that's going to be why it is. But there is a bright little ray of sunshine here. You know, one of my good friends in the knife community is Matisfaction. He's done a lot of stuff for me. He even bought me one of my dream knives recently, right? Just freaking went and found it and bought it for me, right? And him and I have been talking behind the scenes a little bit. Yeah, Mrs. Freak Show says 3-time cancer survivor here. Yep. So she understands what that's all about, right? There's going to be a lot of radiation and chemo and surgery and stuff like that coming down the road very soon. So if I miss this Tuesday, you guys will know why. It doesn't mean I'm going away for good. Doesn't mean I won't be doing live streams. It just means I might not be able to do them every Tuesday. With that being said, I'm thinking about doing an extra live stream on 2 Saturdays a month, the 2 Saturdays opposite of Stevie. So what I want to know from you guys is there a time on Saturdays that kind of generally would work for a lot of you folks? I'm thinking about something in the afternoon, but I don't really know. I'm just throwing this idea around. It would be a short live stream. It would probably be an hour and a half, but it would also give me the option of being able to keep doing live streams throughout this process, because if I can't do one on a Tuesday, I might be able to do the Saturday one. You follow me? Plus, it would be kind of good for my channel. It would help raise an audience on a day that I don't typically have a live stream going, right? So I'm looking for some input from people on that. And if enough people think they would be able to come over and do a Saturday, you know, view a Saturday live stream, then I probably will try to throw in 2 of those a month and do them on the opposite Saturdays that Stevie doesn't do his, because Stevie does 2 a month, and I would fit into those 2 open weeks where he doesn't do his. I'm thinking about a time slot kind of around the same time as his, like an afternoon one. So anyway, let's just throw that idea around. Let me know if you can. Leave me a comment. Actually, do that. If you think you could make a Saturday live, leave a comment in this live stream video after the live ends, okay? And let me know if you can make one, and if you could make one within a certain time frame. All right? Because I'd like to keep doing them, but I also need more flexibility, because obviously what my wife is going through right now is going to take priority over everything else, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The reviews will keep coming. Like I said, I can do those in my spare time. I can do those while I'm home, and I can, you know, stockpile 2 or 3 of those and get them up, loaded onto my channel. So that will still be happening. All right.
Well, brother, anyway, whatever you decide to do, I'm there.
What's that?
I'm sorry. I said, whatever you decide to do, I'm there. I'm you know.
All right. Well, no, I appreciate that.
You know. I clear things just so I can make these lives. You know what I mean? I clear my day when I know there's a live coming. You know, unless it's a true emergency. But best wishes to your wife. My wife is a prayer warrior. I don't know how you feel about this, but my wife is an awesome Christian. I don't call myself a Christian, but I believe in God and stuff. But she never misses a church service and all that. And I know she's listening and can hear this. I know she'll take your wife's situation in hand, your situation in hand, and really, really, you know, pray about it. And, hey, things will work out, brother. Things work out.
Yep. Okay. So that's you know, that's something I would just ask the community to be mindful of. I appreciate anybody that wants to throw out a prayer or send positive thoughts our way would be very good. You know, we're at the beginning of the process, but it's going to definitely it's going to absorb a lot of our life. I'm lucky to have the job I have and have a schedule that will allow me to be as flexible as I need to be. And if I had to quit that job to take care of her, I would. So, you know, we'll do what we got to do, folks. All right. So I want to move on from that real quick. I appreciate some of the feedback I'm already seeing about Saturdays. Freak Show says, do your 5 p.m. time. Lefty is on the earlier in the afternoon would be better, right? Saturday is mostly open except when Big Red goes early. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So again, folks, just leave me what time slots you guys would be able to view in, like a range of time, right? On the comments for this video, and I'm gonna kind of look at that over the next week or two and see if a Saturday video doesn't make sense. So finally, I wanted to throw out this one more time. So pay attention on the screen, folks, if you are keeping track of this. There it is. There's the word of the week. Okay. Also, it would be really cool because she does make a lot of stuff and she does have an amazing amount of talent. Right here across the bottom, Mrs. Edge does have an Instagram account. It's called Studio DCG. So if you're not already following her on Instagram and you like crafty stuff and amazing artwork and things that somebody made with their own hands, go check her out. It's Studio DCG on Instagram, okay? I'm sure she would love to have people take a look at the amazing stuff that she makes. If any of you have received one of my giveaway packs, you know that she makes awesome hanks, the little fidget balls. She makes 3 or 4 different kinds of these, and you cannot buy that stuff. It's only winnable. I give it away as gifts and as giveaway stuff. So definitely go check her out, okay? And then also, if you would like to do what Bama Ninja did tonight, if you would like to come on, you don't have to show your face unless you want to, like he did tonight. But if you would like to come on and do a 5 and 5 on my show, just hit me up at my email or my Instagram account and let me know you want to come on and show off some knives, right? This is a lot of fun, and I think this is great. It brings the community into the lives. It lets me see cool knives that other people have that I may not and that you guys may not. And I think it's really helpful to the community at large to have folks come in. It puts in a face with a name if you want to show your face, and that's cool. So I'd love to hear from you guys. You know, I've had people like Ninja here that have come on and have really enjoyed themselves. And sometimes it's their first live experience, like tonight. But dude, you've done great, man. You've killed it. So I'm really happy about that. Super.
Well, I thank you for having me on here, brother. I do. Thank you a lot. I've enjoyed it. I've been nervous for a week, but I've enjoyed it.
I told you would do fine, and I was right. You should listen to me.
You know,
I tell my wife that too. I go, hey,
that's right.
Be okay. She's like, yes. I'm like, see, you need to listen. So hey guys, I only got about another 10 minutes or so before I got to get off the air. I got my grandson's birthday Zoom party at 5 o'clock, so I will be off by 5 tonight. So you know how I always like to end the night on story time. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end tonight on story time. All right. Let me check the comments real quick.
I think I'm fading, brother.
You're fading?
I'm fading, right. So I'm going to go on.
Okay. Yeah,
okay?
You jump out, man. That's fine. I'll pick you up. All right. So let's see. Leland, fidget ball. Leland, send me an email reminder at my email address, all right? I'll get you taken care of, brother. Gather round, children. It is story time with Unky Owens. Blades Hook Daniels here. He says, I just wanted to say hi, kids. Blades Hook Daniels. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. I got 32 people in the stream, 44 likes because we've had a few people come and go. All right, yes, but it is story time is coming up. Story time, story time, story time, right? Okay, so I want to mention one other thing too. One other quick thing, okay, about story time. That's right, it is story time. When I tell stories, they are all real things that have really happened to me in my life, okay? But for instance, I recently told a story that was 35 years ago, okay? If I do not remember every single person's name or every single detail correctly, that really doesn't matter, does it? Because it's really about telling the story, all right? I'm telling you all real things that have happened to me in my life or have happened to my family or other people that I know. But I'm not always going to get every last little detail right, and that's not what good storytelling is all about, okay? So there are no fantastic tales woven out of the ether, right? These are all real things that have really happened because I've had a pretty interesting life. But I just want everybody to know that. In the interest of storytelling, right? Let's not be too picky about little fine details, okay? So I'm going to tell you guys a story tonight from my childhood. My father is involved in this story, by the way. So for those of you who are fans, right? For those of you, hit the like button, right? For those of you who are fans of my dad's stories, my dad is part of this story, okay? So you'll get a little miniature dad story here. This story is actually, I call this story something else, but for tonight, because I don't want to give away the story punchline, I call this story Fun on a Farm. So my dad and my mom and dad had some friends who lived in Colchester, Connecticut, because I grew up on the East Coast, and they owned a farm there, right? They had horses, they had pigs, they had chickens and geese and all that kind of stuff. And we would go there a lot in the summertime. We would go to their house and hang out. They would all go in the house and a lot of times and like play cards and hang out and do things. And us kids would run around out there. And it was fun because they had kids, they had like a bunch of kids, and we would go out and mess with the horses or feed the chickens or, whatever. We'd just go out and do stuff, right? And they had a lot of property. Yeah. I'm just laughing at Drubby's comment here. But anyway, we would go there a lot. So this one time we went there, my dad, instead of being in the house, like playing cards and doing different stuff with them, he hunted with the guy that owned the property. So he knew him really well. And they had a lot of land. So in the back of a field leading up to this hill, they had taken a tractor and they had dug out a shooting area, right, for using pew-pews. So I think I was probably about 9 or 10. I feel like this might have happened before the night story, but I'm not positive. So at a young age, I was shooting air rifles. I had pellet and BB guns. Those were my first rifles that I had. So I was pretty used to handling firearms, but it had pretty much been all long guns at that point. Anyway, so there was this dugout shooting area there. And my dad decided that, yeah, Stacy says, Eionan's dad. My dad decided he was going to bring some of his handguns and he was going to go shoot in the shooting area. So I hung around with the kids and I played and I got kind of bored. There was one little girl that the family had, one of their kids was a little girl who was around my age and she was really cute and I hung out with her, but then she went in the house with her brothers and stuff. So I wandered down in the field. I go down there, here's my dad shooting. So I go down there and he's shooting some bigger guns. And when he's done shooting, he takes a break and I tell him I'm there. And he's like, oh, you shouldn't be down here without earmuffs and all this other stuff, right? And I said, hey, I would really like to try shooting a pistol. And my dad said, well, he sits there for a minute. He thinks about it. He goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't know if you're old enough for a real gun yet. He goes, but I do have a 22 with me. And he goes, I guess I could put the earmuffs on you and shoot this 22 pistol. And so this was I remember the gun very well. So you'll understand why I'm going to tell you what the gun was in the story. So the pistol was a Colt Woodsman, bull-barreled target 22 semi-automatic. Okay, so those of you who aren't gun friendly, a semi-automatic, the slide portion on the top of the gun moves back and forth every time it fires. Chamber's a new round of ammunition, so you can keep shooting. But it was a 22, right? So he says, I don't know if you're old enough to do this. He said, I don't know if you're old enough to do this yet. He goes, but I'm going to let you give it a try. He goes, but what I'm going to do, he says, I'm going to have you hold the gun. So he shows me the basics, and you know, I understand gun safety. And then he puts his hands, he stands behind me and he puts his hands around my hands like this. So he's holding the gun out there so that I can shoot it. And we're pretty close. We're like, I don't know, maybe 20 feet, something like that. And so, you know, I do what I'm supposed to do. I look down the gun and I squeeze the trigger nice and slow and I hit the target. And I hit it like 3-4 times in a row. And he goes, okay, that's really good. He goes, you seem to be doing okay. He goes, do you want to try one by yourself? So of course, I'm a kid. I say, sure, I want to try one by myself, right? He goes, okay, just do everything exactly the way I showed you, right? Do everything the same, you know, keep the gun pointed down range. So I do that. But what I do, what I realize is that the whole time I haven't been able to see the sights clearly. So right before I pull the trigger, I pull the gun back like this so that I can see the sights clearer, right? And when I pull the trigger and the gun recoils and the slide comes back, it whacks me in the head. So right over here, I still to this day have a little scar right there on my head. It hits me in the head, right? And I drop the gun, blood starts gushing everywhere, right? So here's that my dad's part of the story. My dad sees me drop the gun right after I fire it. He looks at me, there's blood gushing out of my head. He goes, oh my God. And he throws his hand over my forehead like this. And, you know, I'm 9 or 10 or whatever. He scoops me up in his arms and he starts running as fast as he can up to the farmhouse, right? And I'm crying because, you know, there's blood gushing out of my head. I got blood in my eyes, right? And it hurt because it cut my head, right? He runs up to the farmhouse, kicks open the door. Everybody jumps up. They go, oh my God, what happened? And this is what my dad says. He goes, I let him shoot my pistol, and I think a stray round shot him in the head. So everybody starts freaking out. My mom is like, so they rush me over. They stick me under the sink. They start washing my head off, and my mother turns around and she slaps my dad like as hard as he's ever been slapped in his life, probably. Bam! He like stumbles, almost loses his footing. And she said, you idiot, there's a cut on his head. How did he get a cut on his head? My father says, I let him shoot my 22 pistol. And he goes, why would you do a dumbass thing like that? He's only like, you know, a little kid. You shot your eye out. That's what I used to call this story. Shane Thomas. Shane Thomas. That is exactly what I used to call this story. I used to call it, you shot your eye out. Right? From the Christmas movie where the kid gets the Red Ryder BB gun and shoots the icicle and shoots his eye out, right? So anyway, right, my dad thought I was shot in the head. And my mom, being the more rational one, realized I wasn't shot in the head, but I had this big gash up here, right? And I still have a little scar up here to this day, right here somewhere. So, you know, needless to say, Dad was in the doghouse. Mom was not happy with either one of us. But after they patched up my head and all that, my father sat me down and he goes, what did you do? Why did you pull the gun back at the last second? And I said, well, the whole time I was shooting, I said, I couldn't really see the sights way out there at the end of my arm and everything was really blurry. So my mother looks over at him and she goes, he needs glasses. Our son needs glasses. And that's when I found out I needed glasses. So I went to the eye doctor, and sure enough, the doctor's like, yep, he needs glasses. Got to have glasses. So I get glasses and everything. And so my dad waits. He's smart. He waits about a month, right? Lets this whole situation blow over, right? And my old stories, we had a big house, an old Victorian-style house where we lived. And in the basement, it was a huge basement. It had rooms in it and everything. And one end of the basement that ran the whole length of the house, my dad had a shooting range for pistols. He had a backstop there. So Yeah, exactly, Blade Sick Daniel, right? He thought I got shot in the head with a stray bullet. He thought it ricocheted, but my mom realized it was just a cut. So anyway, I get the glasses and everything, right? And my dad, one day, he goes, hey, come on, go downstairs in the basement. And he takes that 22 pistol out, and it's not loaded. And he has me hold it up, and he goes, can you see the sights? And I go, yep, they look nice and clear with my glasses. I go, they look nice and clear. He goes, okay. And so he did the same thing. He held with my hands for the first couple of shots, and then he took my hands away. He said, now don't bend your arms. Keep your arms out there. Keep looking down the sights. Hold the gun out there nice and steady. And I shot it successfully. Nothing happened. Everything's good. I'm walking up the stairs, and my mom is standing at the top of the staircase from the basement. And she goes, she calls him by name, right? His whole name. Like she did that to me when she was mad at me. And she goes, hey, was he just down there shooting a gun? And my dad says, yeah. He goes, but before you get mad at him, he goes, the reason that he cut himself shooting the gun last time was because he was blind, because he needed glasses. He goes, but now he's got glasses and he can see. So you don't have to worry about him getting hurt anymore. And my mom gives him the evilest look. And she goes, unusually, there is some logic to what you said. She goes, he can keep shooting firearms. And so that's the I shot your eye out, fun on a farm story. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the live cast tonight. Sorry that I had to see. Yeah, seems logical, right? And that was not my dad was not a logical guy usually. But my mom admitted, she goes, well, unusually, that's logical. It makes sense. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream tonight. I hope you've had fun. I want to thank Bama Ninja again for coming on. Buddy, you're welcome to come on my lives anytime. I probably will begin to have a few more guests on at a time and for some of the conversations. If you missed it earlier, leave me a comment in this video after the live stream. Leave me a comment. Let me know what time on Saturdays would be a good time. I'm thinking about doing every other Saturday live stream, a short one, probably an hour, hour and a half. But I really appreciate everyone in the community. Bear with me if I can't make the lives every Tuesday because of what's going on with my wife, Mrs. Edge. But we will get through this, and I will continue to post video content all the time. Also, one other final thing. I will put this up here. If you in the knife community have a friend that is not subscribed to my channel, Eionan's Edge, send them on over, okay? Have them check it out so that maybe they'll like it. And if they do, maybe they'll subscribe. All right. Now, Sir Ninja says, good story. When I was 12, my dad and my godfather gave me a 30-06 rifle to shoot a can at 100 yards beside the loud bang. I fell on my ass. They both laughed and said, that'll toughen you up. That's a lot of rifle for a 12-year-old kid. Way too much rifle for a 12-year-old kid. But anyway, folks, as always, I have enjoyed having you on the live. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Thanks for being a part of it. As always, I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad to have all of you folks in here. And hopefully, if things go well, I will see you next Tuesday. All right? Have a great night and stay sharp, everyone. Thank you very much.